On December 22nd, an illegal immigrant set a woman who was sleeping on a New York subway on fire and watched her burn from a bench in the terminal. And not one person offered aid to this person. Why, you may ask? Stay tuned and we'll discuss the reasons. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. But before we begin, I'd like to ask you for a favor. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This really helps us grow the channel and get the MAGA message out. And go over to youtube.com/@themagamessage and check out our other videos. Has America had enough? Why in the name of all that's holy would people stand by and watch another human burn alive? Well, remember Daniel Penny? This hero was arrested, charged with criminal homicide, and put on trial by Manhattan DA Fat Alvin Bragg. Thank God the jury acquitted Penny, but the chilling effect on the public is palpable. In fact, it's been reported that at least one police officer walked by the car where the woman was burning to death and didn't stop. No one even grabbed a fire extinguisher and tried to put out the flames. Incredibly, this occurred on the same day that the clueless New York governor, Kathy Hochul, declared that the New York subway system was much safer because of her efforts. We're seeing more and more horrific crimes committed by illegal aliens, and the most violent gang in the world, Tren de Aragua, is now reported to be operating in 19 states. The perpetrator of this heinous crime, Sebastian Zepeda, was deported back to Guatemala in 2018, but sometime thereafter returned to the U.S. as a gotaway. Now, I believe it's forgivable for people to have allowed this poor woman to burn to death without trying to help her. But no one wants to face the same fate as Daniel Penny. Maybe we need a law that requires people to provide assistance in situations such as this. But wait, New York has a Good Samaritan law that protects people who provide emergency aid. But of course, there's always an attorney who's willing to sue in hopes of collecting a big fee. You know, I'm also wondering where Big Mouth Al Sharpton is following this horrific event. Where's the outrage? Where are the protests? Oh, wait, this situation doesn't lend itself to race baiting. And there's no profit in it for Al. The Brooklyn District Attorney, thank God, not Fat Alvin Bragg, will pursue first and second-degree murder charges against Zepeda, as well as first-degree arson. But my point is that the legal environment in New York City has devolved to the point where people are afraid to step up to help another human who is literally burning to death. It's going to take a lot of effort to change things, beginning with getting rid of district attorneys like Bragg. We've seen it in L.A. and San Francisco. Now, New Yorkers need to fire Bragg. Take a look at this discussion on Fox News about how the Daniel Penny effect could have cost this poor woman her life. And please share your thoughts in the comments.
We are back with the latest on the illegal immigrant accused of setting a sleeping woman on fire and watching her burn to death on a New York City subway. Sebastian Zepeda Khalil is now charged with first and second-degree murder as well as arson for the horrific crime that happened early Sunday morning. The Brooklyn DA saying, quote, "This gruesome and senseless act of violence against a vulnerable woman will be met with the most serious consequences," end quote. ICE confirming the alleged killer first crossed the border in 2018 illegally and was deported under the Trump administration. But it's unclear when or where he re-entered the country. The suspect reportedly could face a judge as soon as today. Brian, over to you.
All right. Thanks so much. Unbelievable. This happening as bystanders stood by and did absolutely nothing, adding to the outrage felt across the city. Some officers did jump in, we should say. Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa, who's a mayoral candidate, Republican nominee, last cycle lost to Eric Adams, says there's no doubt that people don't want to get involved. It's the Danny Penny factor. It's frozen people. They're saying to themselves, I don't want to get jammed up like Penny. People should have been running over to the woman on fire. They did nothing. They said nothing. In fact, some just taped it. Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce joins us now. Tammy, do you agree with Curtis?
Morning. Absolutely. And at first, when I saw that one video with people literally just standing there, it's hard to believe. I thought it was fake. You know, we have to question that all the time. When we see something that appears unbelievable, often it is. But in this case, it wasn't. And there's officers did intervene at some point, but there's one video of an officer walking by nonchalantly. Others, it boggles the mind. And yet we see messages, and this is the power of what the government does, is that when they defund the police, when they don't show up, when they don't respond, even when they are there, it tells people, including people who've come here illegally, that even we don't have respect for ourselves, that even we don't care about law and order. And this is what sparks, look, this is, New York has problems, but nobody just decides to do that to another human being. And so this is the kind of person who's wandering around this country. Fortunately, it's not the majority of them. But my God, what have we done in opening the doors, and who have we encouraged to come here?
Absolutely, Tammy. The other thing is with cops, qualified immunity, it's a different conversation. But they don't want to get involved too much because they don't want to get sued and lose everything.
Right.
Also, this guy's going to be deported, should be deported. He came in 2018, tossed out, sneaks back in. But in a sanctuary city, you got to have your hands full. You got to be doing paperwork all day. In fact, in New York City, you do paperwork for every interaction. It paralyzes people who say, you don't pay me enough to do all this.